So I have two new hires that I'm very happy to present to you today. John Legason. John?
Actually, that wasn't required.
Yeah, that really isn't required, but he's going to make you do it anyway. So.
Throwing a football or what?
Yeah. So as we have the picture taking, I'll just give you a little bit of a background on John. John has successfully defended his PhD in August of 20.
I should pick Brett first.
Very embarrassing, isn't it?
He has a PhD.
Yes, so John did defend his PhD thesis in August of 2013 at the De Groot School of Business, McMaster University. Prior to completing his PhD, John received his Bachelor of Honors of Arts and Business Administration, as well as his Master of Business Administration from the University of Western. He was named to the Dean's Honors List there. During his tenure at McMaster, John published 6 papers for major international academic conferences, including the International Conference on Information Systems, the Americas Conference on Information Systems, and the European Conference on Information Systems. His paper presented at the 2011 International Conference was a special interest group, human-computer interaction workshop, received a Best Award. He was the recipient of 2 Ontario Graduate Scholarships and was also competitively selected to attend the 2011 International Conference of Information Systems Doctoral Consortium in Shanghai, China. Thank you, John. Brent, you know what's coming. So Brent,
Run away.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about Brent as he has his picture taken. So Brent was born and educated in the Toronto area. He obtained his MBA from the Rutland School of Management in 2004 and a PhD in Information Systems from Schulich in 2009. For the past 5 years, Brent has been living in the south of the Netherlands, where he has been working as an assistant professor at Maastricht University School of Business and Economics. During this time, he was involved in bachelor, master, doctor level education programs, as well as executive and postgraduate programs. He's also served as assistant director for the school's International Executive Master of Finance and Controlling Programming, and he has taught within the Universities of Amsterdam's MBA and Executive Master of Finance and Controlling Programs. Please help me welcome.
I have a lot of sympathy for the new, because the irony is I'm also new, and I have enjoyed the last few months here in the Faculty of Business, and I thought this would be a great time to thank all of you who helped me make that much easier than it would have been. I've enjoyed a tremendous amount of support within the faculty, with the marketing and advertising programs and in other areas. So thank you so much, because I can tell you it makes a huge difference, and I really appreciate it. And in that vein, the marketing and advertising programs have added 4 new professors, and where is Pam Haddon? Come on down, Pam. Pam Padden is a marketing and product management executive with over 14 years experience in financial services and credit card marketing with TD Bank Financial Group. Pam has played a key role in the significant growth of TD's credit card business over the last 10 years, including TD's acquisition of MBNA Canada, and most recently, Pam led a very successful launch of the new TD Aeroplan program. Pam has vast experience in direct marketing, advertising, and new product development, and was also co-chair of the TD's Women in Leadership Committee for North American Credit Cards. Pam holds a bachelor's degree in political science from Queen's and an MBA with a concentration in marketing from the Schulich School of Business at York University. And welcome, Pam. And Antara Keeler, are you here?
She's not.
She's not. I'm going to introduce her anyway, because you've met her. Okay. Antara Keeler is an accomplished marketing and advertising executive with over 20 years of international work experience at world-class and advertising agencies. During her professional career, she repeatedly led multinational accounts and won substantial new business for her agencies. She worked on integrated communications campaigns that built sales and market share in extremely competitive industries. Antara has honed her skills in strategy formulation, communications planning, and client service. She holds an MBA with a marketing major and a bachelor's degree in economics and statistics. Outside of work, Antara is a passionate student of marketing and advertising and loves sharing this enthusiasm with others. Also, she's a keen bridge player and a coach, an avid swimmer, and narrates talking books for the CNIB. So when you see her, that is Antara. And Carl Jones. No, he was hoping to make it. Carl, his present goal is to advance advertising creation through the application of advertising theory and marketing semiotics. For over 25 years, Carl worked in the global advertising industry and became the most awarded art director in Mexico from 1995 to 2010 by procuring over 500 awards and recognitions. In Toronto, Jones was selected as one of the top 20 creative directors in 2012 by Canadian Business Magazine Strategy. He is recognized globally as an authority on advertising, invited to speak in 9 countries on 3 continents, and has been requested to judge all major award shows, including Clio's, London, New York festivals, Effies, and Cannes. His advertising work has been exhibited in the Royal Ontario Museum Toronto, Museo Franz Mayer in Mexico City, and is in a permanent collection of Museo de Arte Contemporáneo, I'm sorry to anyone who actually speaks Spanish, in Polanco, Mexico. In 2014, Carl co-authored a book, Hacker, Maker, Teacher, Thief, Advertising's Next Generation, published in London by Creative Social, and published a paper, Advertising Tools and Techniques Appropriated to Construct the Global Brand, Mr. Clean, at the IASS 12th World Congress on Semiotics in Sofia, Bulgaria. So that is Carl. And an interesting note, when we spoke with Antara and we showed her the program map and she saw the creative courses, without knowing that we had already hired Carl, she said, oh, you need a guy named Carl Jones. And we said, that's really convenient. And Tawfiq, I know you're here because I saw you. Come on down. Tawfiq El-Nahas is a multilingual educator and has a funny story about that if you'd ever like to ask him about his other language. He speaks 4 languages. He's taught in both English and French on 3 continents over the past 12 years. Tawfiq has 24 years experience in senior roles in North America, the Middle East, and Europe. Outside of work, Tawfiq has participated in 2 world championships as a squash player. So you know, if he asked you to play squash, and also many international tournaments in judo, and he's now an accomplished judo instructor, trained his 2 sons to both be the Canadian national champs for the last 3 years, each in his weight category, and they will represent Canada in the next World Championships and Olympic Games. Nice. He holds a PhD, a Master's of Philosophy, an MBA from Nottingham University in the UK, as well as a Bachelor of Commerce. And we're very happy to have you. Welcome.
After you, Alphonse.
Whose notes should I use? Good afternoon. My name's Jeremy Staples. For those of you who don't know me, I'm one of the Associate Deans. That was Laurie Elliott, who just left the podium. It's my pleasure to introduce two new faculty this afternoon. First, it's going to be Doug Peebles. Doug, do you want to come here? So we rescued Doug from Conestoga, where he's been working for the last 5 years or so at Conestoga, teaching a variety of business courses, so he's a very experienced professor. We're very lucky to have him. He also has a PhD from Capella University in Minneapolis in corporate governance and firm performance, and I'm sure he would love to explain that to you in more detail when you have 5 minutes and a coffee. He also has an MBA from McMaster, and more importantly, he's got a very extensive career working in the supply chain logistics industry and with SAP. And Doug was actually instrumental in creating something called the SAP University Alliance, which is something that we have access to use in our courses, where it teaches students about the use of the SAP ERP system and how it can help them in their careers. So we're very, very lucky to have him here. As we have access to that alliance at this point in time, we're looking to him to really heighten our capacity for our students, so that's going to be tremendous. He's also worked for a few names we might know, Nestle Canada, amongst others, in his past career, so we're really, really pleased to have him join us, so welcome. Thank you. Secondly, and I'd like to introduce Peter Cowan. So we rescued Peter from Ottawa. Peter joins us having had a 30-year career with Export Development Canada. How many know what Export Development Canada does? Ooh, good. Well, again, those of you who don't, 5 minutes of beer or a cup of coffee, and we'd be glad to explain it to you. It's mostly about trade financing. How do you make sure that Canada exports lots of goodies to places around the world, financing it, supporting the security of exports so people actually get paid and keep our economy booming along. Is that fair? Absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Exactly. So Peter just very recently finished his PhD at Carleton University, and I have to read this. It's a relationship between supply chain and finance functions in export-oriented companies. And there was a whole bunch of other stuff after it, but I figured that was enough. He also has an MBA from the University of Western Ontario, and he comes here really with a global perspective, having the experience that 30 years brings with trying to figure out how to make Canada work in the global community. So he's been working at a senior level, most recently advising the executive team of Export Development Canada on how to improve Canada's competitiveness around the world from an export perspective. So we're really pleased to have him, and welcome, Peter.
I'm at that unfortunate age where I can't see with my glasses and I can't see without them, so I will read the paper and everybody else is blurry. For those that don't know, I'm Rob Giberson. I'm the Associate Dean in the accounting area in travel and tourism. We hired 2 people into the accounting program this year. I'd like to start by introducing Preet Bala. Come on down. So we don't steal people at all, but she was at Seneca. In fact, took about 3 weeks to convince her to come and join us. Preet holds a PhD in accounting, has a Master's of Commerce in accounting. You can see why we were interested in having her in accounting. 18 years of teaching experience at the University and College, latest from Seneca, plus 7 years of industry experience. She lives locally here in Mississauga, and will be teaching in both the diploma and degree programs. Welcome. Humayun, come on over. Humayun's our second hire in accounting. has a PhD, actually he's currently PhD in taxation at Osgoode Hall, York. Should be wrapping up this year. Holds a master's in law, an MBA, Masters of Arts, plus several undergrads. Has a CPA CGA, a CPA CMA, a CPA US, plus accreditation in the UK and in Pakistan. So if you have issues around accounting and need some global experience, 14 years in business plus 10 years of experience teaching with York and also in the CGA program. So I'd like to welcome Ryan.
Hi, I'm going to introduce the 4 new staff members that the Faculty of Business has hired over the summer. So I'd like to introduce Leslie Waddell first. Where is Leslie? There she is. Maybe the 3 of them can come down.
Okay, all 3 of them.
Okay, I'll have you come down. Leslie is our new 24-hour administrative support officer. Leslie will be working the evening shift at the Davis campus Mondays through Thursdays. Leslie is a graduate with high honors from our Faculty of Business, Office Administration Executive class of 2012. Leslie brings over 7 years previous office experience from working in a variety of areas, including the Central One Credit Union in Mississauga and the Ontario Racing Commission in Toronto. Thanks, Jessica. Leslie, would you like to stay down the front and then we'll take your pictures with the other ladies? Next, I'd like to introduce Jessica McDougall. Jessie McDougall is our new full-time program support specialist, and she'll be working in the evening shift at HMC. Jessie has a Bachelor of Arts degree in General Studies with a concentration on mathematics from Brock University, a postgraduate certificate in Business Management from Niagara College, and a Master of Science degree in Education from Medalli College in New York. Jessie has continued her education with part-time studies in Guidance Part 1 at Brock University and has signed up for part-time classes at Sheridan in her spare time. Jessie has previous office work experience from Brock University in St. Catharines, Summit College in Simcoe, Career Quest Inc. in Brampton, and customer service experience from Canadian Tire. Our next new hire is Julie Thompson, who is a program support specialist working in the evening shift at HMC. Julie has a corporate communication and public relations diploma from Centennial College. Julie also has secondary education from Durham College with high honors in senior biology, senior chemistry, and senior physics. Julie has previous office experience working at the Bank of Nova Scotia, Remington Homes, Great Gulf Homes, and Manulife Financial. Julie has also worked for and managed the setup for the YTV Achievement Awards, which was attended by over 5,000 people held at the Toronto Convention Centre. And our 4th new hire couldn't make it this afternoon. Her name is Amanda Subdeo. She joins us as our 24-hour admin support officer working mornings at HMC Monday through Friday. Amanda has a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Toronto. Previous work experience includes stock manager for Reitmans, passenger service agent at Air Transat, and technical service analyst at IBM. Amanda continues her workday on the afternoon shifts at St. Joe's Health Centre as an emergency registration clerk. Please welcome our 4 new support staff.